Dave, Anthony, and Brian were on Restaurant Marketing School with Josh Kopel. We put together a quick episode with Josh when he was in Cleveland, Ohio.
If you want to hear more, search Restaurant Marketing School on your podcast player of choice.
You know, we were able to almost double beverage sales at Pro and Proper simply by changing the way we sold beverages.
Imagine a perfect world where you can build a restaurant, open the doors, and make loads of money. Unfortunately, those days are over. It takes great leadership, hard work, and long hours to operate a successful restaurant. Together, we can make it happen. This is Restaurantopia.
Today we're talking about marketing hacks for increasing ticket size.
When you look at the restaurant, and we've talked about this in previous episodes, about how do you take your current business and expound upon it and move it to another level, and increasing ticket size is a perfect way to do it. So many ways to do this. Just going down through a list of stuff. Are you giving your customers the ability to choose additional items with some price elasticity? So to give some examples, do you have low entry points on your appetizer menu?
Well, and on the other side of that, Dave, how about we have an $18 appetizer on there to stretch it out a little bit for those people who do like foie gras, or they do like the Santa Barbara spot prawns, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, no, for sure. And depending on your concept, I guess low and high gives the customer the option to spend their money.
People, to keep it simple, people want to be told what to do.
Yeah.
I have seen it time and time again. And so if you adopt that mentality, you're going to tell them through salesmanship, you're going to tell them through your menu how to engage with your restaurant. And so if you have a target price point, then you cultivate an offering that's going to hit that per customer average. And then you tell them, this is how I want you to engage with my restaurant. This is what a perfect meal looks like. That is what you should have. Because for most people, when they're dining out, they don't need to spend $200 or $300, but they're not going to sweat $5 to $10, especially if it's going to have a significant impact on the meal.
Think about what Josh just said, $5 to $10. So if you increased your ticket average by $10 for a two-top, that's what you call when there's two people at the table, right?
Yes.
Yes.
That is.
I object.
That is what we call it in the game.
Yes.
In the show.
Got the lexicon down. So if you increase the ticket by $10 for a two-top, that's $5 more per person. Like that's real money.
On a $100 check average is 5%, easy math. $50 check average 10%. Like anybody would love to increase their sales 10%.
Yeah, no question.
And it's nothing. It's espresso. Or it's a slice of pie.
There you go.
Yeah. People want to come in. They're there to spend money with you. Figure out ways to have them give you their money. Another thing I'm a big proponent of is benchmarking that price elasticity. So concepts that you want to emulate, if they've got an appetizer section that ranges from $4 to $18 in Anthony's example, and yours ranges from $8 to $12, there you could be missing some opportunity in there. So I think benchmarking is important across all categories of your menu. I also think for increasing ticket size, beverage options and non-alcoholic beverage options. How do you have premium options on there and focus on that? Whether it be flavored iced teas or mocktails or different things that
bubble tea.
Yeah.
I think that's a great way to generate revenue and to market, because bubble tea looks good, and I think it's something that you can really put out on social media and get people in through the door. I know concepts in the Ohio area that are doing like 20-30% of their top line revenue on bubble tea.
That's crazy.
And now maybe it's a trend and it's a fad and it'll go away, but they're taking that cash to the bank.
Ride it, baby.
Yeah.
Well, who's to say you don't just offer what you want to sell? At Pro and Proper, we didn't offer you tap water. We said, flat or sparkling. And then if you asked for tap, we got you tap.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to sell you things.
Correct.
Right.
So I'm only going to sell you things that cost money.
And what's important here is that you actually do the tastings with your staff, because their excitement's infectious, right? Like the believability factor when these people are truly jazzed about this dish is very, very high. There's nothing worse than when you ask the server, like, hey, what would you recommend? Well, I don't know, I've never tried that. Like, wait, how have you never tried that? Like, you have to roll out food to your staff. You have to get them energized. And the staff, they're your biggest cheerleaders.
No, and they're your sales force. Train them how to sell it. Train them what to say.
Part
train
of that
them what
is
to do.
feeding
Well,
them.
and train them when to sell it.
Yes.
We were able to almost double beverage sales at Pro and Proper simply by changing the way we sold beverages. So you would sit down at the table and we'd say,
I can't wait.
hey guys, let me get you a round of drinks. We'll start with a round of drinks. We would make suggestions. We would stay there until they placed their drink order. We would tell them a little bit about the cocktail list. We would get those drinks out immediately. And the reason we did was we knew we had an opportunity to sell them a second round of drinks before the food dropped. As soon as the food dropped, we would hold the food until we could get that second order in. Because as soon as the food drops, they're not drinking anymore. The statistical likelihood of them ordering a second round drops by more than half.
That's crazy.
No.
And also, too, a little operations insight is that the service bar is often neglected, right? The bartenders are worried about the guests in front of them. They're not worried about the service bar as much, and it's certainly staffing and strategy. But you know what else I do? That service bar gets backed up real easy. So the fact you put emphasis on is
I love what both of you are saying. Let's break that down, though. Be a student of the game. Figure out the customer journey and service that customer that's going to maximize the second drink order. What would that generate in revenue if you could get how many?
I mean, we were 50-50. So, to increase sales on
drinks.
By almost 50%. I mean, it was a 25%.
You had a 50-50 split at a fine dining restaurant?
I did.
No doubt. Wow.
No, that's great.
Your prime costs look pretty good.
Yeah.
That 20% beverage cost isn't so bad all of a
No,
sudden.
it wasn't bad at all. The last thing I'll say is this. You're not special. I'm not special. None of us are special. No. So when you're crafting the experience for your customers, do what you would like, because they're going to behave in the same way you behave.
Yep.
So, the way I figured out the cocktail strategy was I went to a restaurant and I got 2 cocktails before. Something I had never done. Not because I'm against drinking, but when you're eating, drinking becomes secondary. And I was like, oh man, that really worked well.
That was smart.
What an epiphany.
You paid attention to what happened to you.
That was it. And then I implemented the same thing in my restaurant and experienced similar results.
This is a high quality pod. Thank you, everybody.
Take care. Adios.
Thank you for listening to Restaurantopia. The gratitude that we have for each and every one of you spending your precious time to listen to this podcast is immeasurable. Please make sure to tell a friend about this podcast. And also, if you have any feedback for us, visit us on restaurantopia.com and drop us a line. You can also subscribe on your favorite place to listen to podcasts. Thank you and have a great day.
Wow, one take, Dave.
Yeah, no
wow. Mondays, only Mondays.
Ali, cut all of this. None of this goes in the show.
We need another episode.